For many of us, learning to ride a bicycle was a rite of passage. It reminds us of our youth. Even though riding a bike is great fun, it's also a healthy form of transportation. Today, most children spend some time on bicycles. However, when a cyclist does come in contact with a car, the ground, or even a tree, the most serious injuries are those to the head and brain. Our modern network of trauma care saves many lives. Even so, about 3,000 children will die this year from traumatic brain injury. And thousands more will seek medical attention at hospitals and doctors' offices. Scott Robinson, emergency department physician, explains.
Head injuries are devastating in children because often they're irreversible and something that the child will have to live with for the rest of their life. As an emergency physician, one of the things that's extremely difficult and stressful is taking care of children with head injuries, especially when we know those injuries can be prevented by something as simple as wearing a helmet.
While no one can put a price on a human life, the real costs of medical care can be staggering. However, there is a less expensive way to save lives, and that way is prevention. Studies show that if everyone would wear a helmet when riding a bicycle, trauma deaths would decline significantly. Unfortunately, as effective as helmets are, most kids still don't wear them. Meet Rob Court, Division Chief for Lawrence Douglas County Fire and Medical. An avid cyclist himself, Rob spearheaded a helmet program to prevent injuries before they happen.
I ran an ambulance call where a college student was sitting at a stoplight trying to balance his bike, and he fell over, striking his head on a curb. When we got there, he had a serious head injury. I went home the next morning and purchased a helmet, and I've been wearing one ever since. Seeing injury and death as a paramedic, I felt it was better to have helmets on kids before they crash than dealing with them after they crash.
With funding from the Children's Miracle Network, Rob organized a helmet fair. Soon, however, he realized he would need help.
There's three of us. There's myself and two guys. We took 200 helmets to McDonald's on 23rd Street to give them away, and we had hundreds of people show up.
Helmet distribution is one part of a comprehensive wheel sports safety program that we have initiated here in Lawrence, Kansas.
That first helmet fair was made possible by Laird Noller Automotive, who has continued to sponsor the helmet program ever since.
Over the years, we've taken this promotion to different neighborhoods in our community. It's not just one place, and they do that so that nobody is excluded, so everybody has a chance to get a free helmet.
We started small. We had 90 helmets we put on the ambulances, and when we saw kids riding without a helmet, we'd stop them and give them a helmet.
What we were able to do was go to the people that we advertise with, and you can get a lot of this stuff for free if you get somebody like us involved that does business with these people. They're going to work with you.
We tried doing the bike rodeo ourselves and we couldn't do it. We failed at it. I decided if we couldn't do it well, we weren't going to do it at all. Talked to State Farm. They had a good course, but they didn't have the participants. So I told them if we teamed up together, I could provide the participants if they could provide a good course, and they did. And the first year we had about 200 kids go through their course.
It takes a lot of people to make it work, and a lot of other businesses other than just us. And maybe they're not there making a big splash, but they're donating the money to buy those helmets.
The helmet program obviously helps children be safe. The more kids we can keep on bikes with helmets on, we all win.
My name is Rob.
So how do you put on a helmet giveaway? Planning, and more planning.
We pick a date and location a year ahead of time. I order helmets and get volunteers lined up 5 months before the event.
Lots of people to help.
We utilize Safe Kids. We utilize volunteers from the River City Lions Club, State Farm, and I draft my family and their friends to come help each year.
One large parking lot.
A parking lot or a large area is important. You have to have enough room to spread out.
And good weather. Early one Saturday morning, Rob assembled his crew. Barricades were set up, helmets unloaded, and a bicycle course was chalked out on the pavement.
And what I want to do is kind of let everybody know what we're doing, so we're all on the same page, so we can help the kids get through the course here.
By 10 o'clock, several hundred children were lined up at registration to receive a safety passport. This year's helmet fair was bigger and better than ever. The goal was for the children to validate their passport at 4 safety stations to be redeemed later for a free swim at the Lawrence Aquatic Center. At the first station, the children were fitted with new helmets by fire and medical personnel and volunteers.
With a fireman in front of them telling them it's important to wear this helmet, they tend to wear them more. Okay. You know, even my kids, you know, they were wearing them in the car on the way home.
Every little boy I know thinks being a fireman or being a paramedic or being a police officer, that's really cool. So having somebody cool tell you to wear your helmet is a big deal.
I had a mom call me a couple years ago, and she told me how much of an impact the helmet fair had on her family and her son, who was always wearing his helmet. The problem was he was in the bathtub with his helmet on, and she would like to know if I would talk to him again. We had about 2,500 people attend the helmet fair. We gave away 470 helmets in 2 hours, and each one of those helmets were fitted, custom fitted to the child's head.
In the early years, you know, we thought it was good to put a little sticker on the helmet that said who the sponsors were. They've come up with a process now where it's actually right in the finish of the helmet. So your name isn't going to go away, it's in the helmet. And I think that's only right for the people that are willing to put up the money and sponsor this event.
After receiving a helmet, kids were able to have their bicycles inspected by volunteer professional mechanics from Sunflower Bike Shop. Volunteer riders from the local bicycle club were on hand to field questions.
They had bicyclists out there demonstrating their bikes and wearing helmets too. And they got to get on the firemen's equipment, the rescue trucks and everything. So yeah, it did make an impact.
At the State Farm Station, children were able to have their photo ID taken for a laminated bicycle license that enabled them to ride the bicycle traffic safety course. After completing the course, which was more challenging than it looked, the children proceeded to the last 2 safety stations. At the Safe Kids tent, children sat in the Hawkins seat to check safety belt fit. Some children were found to be too small for a standard safety belt, and therefore low and high back booster seats were recommended to their parents. At the Aquatic Safety Station, the children were fitted with personal flotation devices by qualified personnel from the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. Lifeguards from the Lawrence Aquatic Center answered questions on pool safety right next to a display of Fire and Medical's Zodiac rescue boats. At the end of the course, volunteers from Lawrence Memorial Hospital provided coloring books and SpongeBob SquarePants first aid kits for the children. McDonald's provided breakfast for volunteers along with entertainment and refreshments for all.
McDonald's is all about kids, and we want to be here to help kids stay safe. Kids are here, so McDonald's wants to be here too.
And as you drive around town, you see our helmets on these kids, so we are making an impact.
On this day, the Lions Club teamed up with Lansing Correctional Facility to provide 30 bicycles to children that otherwise wouldn't have one. These bikes were refurbished by inmates and now looked sparkling new.
He knows he has to wear a helmet or he won't get to ride his bike, and if he sees somebody else without a helmet, he'll tell that person that they need to be wearing a helmet. So
it's real important to us that we have top-of-mind awareness with our business. We want people to know Laird Noller.
Of course, it promotes our business because we all have State Farm shirts on.
When you see it benefits somebody you know, it kind of hits home.
I don't look at this as an advertisement. This is a community service. People don't buy houses from us because we did this. If what we've done over the years, contributing to this program, saved one life, it's worth it.
So there you have it, a community coming together under the leadership of a key organizer.
My hope is that somebody will watch this tape and decide that it's important to have a helmet program in their community rather than wait for a child to be injured or killed before they start.
Somebody in that community is going to care about kids and safety and issues like that. It may be a school principal, it may be a PTO leader, maybe a city commissioner, mayor, or a county commissioner, but sure, they're out there. They're everywhere.
When you break your arm, it heals. When you cut your skin, it heals. When you injure your head, it doesn't heal. It's a lifelong disability. It can be prevented by wearing a helmet.
The last thing I'd want is for my child to not be wearing a helmet and get a serious head injury.
It's important to encourage our children to ride bicycles for exercise, fun, and transportation. And while they're at it, they need to do it safely.
It's your town, it's your turn.
For more information on how to put together a bike rodeo in your town, check out our website, www.bikerodeo.org.